Now, there is a violent and bloody war going on in the streets of Philadelphia. Dozens of young men are being ruthlessly executed or going to jail for life in the city of brotherly love. And one of the most prominent figures at the center of this war is none other than YBC Dul, a rapper who reps the Young Bag Chasers collective who has been given the nickname Mr. Disrespectful for a slew of antics such as digging up an enemy's grave in February of this year.
No fucking tombstone, everything is fucking dirt up. Hey yo, where the fuck Carney at, yo? Carney, where the fuck you at? Ah!
Clearly, YBC Dul has taken mocking the dead on the internet to a whole nother level. But how did it get to this point? Nobody wakes up in the morning and randomly decides to defile a gravesite. So to truly understand Dul, Philly's most hated rapper, let me provide some insight into how this all began. In 2017, Baby Khan J100 came up with the name the Young Bag Chasers as a label for their collective that were getting money together in the streets. When you list out the most notable members of YBC and their synonymous subset YFA, a pattern of tragedy emerges. 19 of the 31 most prominent members are either dead or incarcerated. But for the first 2 years of YBC's existence, they mostly stuck to getting money in the streets. It wasn't until the start of summer 2019 that the horrible cycle of violence first emerged. On May 29, 2019 at 1:40 p.m. near 42nd Street and Mantua Avenue, Joshua David Munson, also known as YBC Josh, was gunned down in broad daylight as he walked down the sidewalk near his home. The gunman was never caught, and the pain that Josh's passing caused his friends in YBC had them wanting to get street justice for their fallen friend. 10 months later, YBC allegedly struck back. At around 5:10 p.m. in March of 2020, a 19-year-old man by the name of Nafiq Hawkins, aka Buddy, was playing a game of pickup basketball near 62nd and Vine when he was struck multiple times in his legs and torso. He was pronounced dead 12 minutes later. Nobody on the scene was willing to give police a description of the shooter. But if you listen to the music of YBC Dul, you will hear him constantly disrespecting the passing of Buddy. Even in the first song that Dul released, you can hear him saying he is, quote, smoking Buddy out the motherfucking pound.
I'm smoking Buddy out the motherfucking pound, he hit right.
And that is far from the only song that he mentions him in. Not long after the passing of Buddy, 2 YBC members were allegedly involved in a shootout near 38th Street. Multiple people were hit, one of which was named Sid from 39th Street. Sid survived his injuries, and since the streets have a no snitching policy, it wouldn't be long before Sid exacted his own form of justice. In September of 2020, Sid claimed to be responsible for the shooting of a man named BL. The man was shot in the head multiple times while he was riding his bike on the 900 block of Belmont Avenue around 9:30 p.m. He was pronounced dead on the scene. After this, YBC was out for blood. On January 16, 2021, a 15-year-old named Jaquan Williams, aka Q Raw, was walking near 40th and Cambridge Streets when 2 suspects shot him in the head as he was on his way to the store. YBC claimed this killing by mocking him in their songs, calling him Q Rizzy instead of his name.
They shot Q Rizzy from a block away. February 24th, we smoked Q Rizzy out the pound.
YBC wanted get back, and specifically wanted to get vengeance on Sid. On March 18, 2021, they were allegedly given false information that Sid was being released from prison that evening and mistakenly shot 20-year-old Rodney Hargrove near the prison around midnight, thinking that he was Sid. This accident would not stop them. In May of 2021, they caught Sid outside his house and let off a barrage of shots, striking his 6-year-old sister instead of him.
It's disgusting yet again that I'm here speaking to you about a 6-year-old getting shot.
Sid would survive the incident, and his family would move across town to Port Richmond to evade the violence. But still, his days were numbered. Around 8:15 p.m. on the 2900 block of Wykel Street in the city's Port Richmond section, 2 shooters approached Sid's house and fired 8 shots into his home, striking him and his father. His dad survived, but 39th Street Sid passed away from his wounds. YBC member Curry was found hiding under a car on the scene, and he began firing at police, but was ultimately arrested and booked for the murder of Sid, as well as a previous murder. Sid, who also went by the nickname Fro, was routinely mocked in YBC Dul's music.
Make the pro with the snake, that shit hard, it got me tripping.
And this was by no means the end of the violence surrounding YBC. On May 25th around 7:30 p.m., police say an 18-year-old man named Nasir Marks was shot multiple times on the 3900 block of Poplar Street in the city's Mantua section. His family was making him shirts for his upcoming graduation when they got the phone call.
His name is Nasir Marks. He's not just some 18-year-old black male that was shot. His name is Nasir Marks.
30 minutes later, 32 shots were fired at a 15-year-old boy named Kanye Pittman on the 2500 block of North Sydenham Street. 5 shots struck him and he was pronounced dead at the hospital. Reek 1200 from YBC bragged about the killings soon after in his songs.
Don't get it twisted, bitch, I still pop right out that cut. He out of luck. Caught his ass up on that side, he should've ducked. We spin back to back. Bodies in one day, they know what's up. We get it done. Get that drop and drop his ass, this shit fun.
YBC Dul also repeatedly mocked the death of the 15-year-old, calling him Young Bull from the back block.
From the back tried to run, they did him bad. Not that way, Young Bull from the black block. But he mentioned
I wish I could say the reign of terror in Philadelphia was over. But on July 21st, 2021, 16-year-old Kalen Johnson and 18-year-old Tommy Frazier, also known as Snipe, were murdered in their vehicle while they were on their way to play basketball.
What am I supposed to do when they close the casket? I just want everybody to know my son was a good kid. Everyone loved him.
Last week in August of 2024, Curry from the YBC/YFA Collective went to court for these murders and was found guilty. His defense argued Curry became a victim of his surroundings after his family moved from Germantown to West Philadelphia, saying the murder of Curry's father and brother when he was a child left him traumatized. Still, the jury found him guilty of the murders and sent him away for 42.5 to 85 years.
Curry is the fifth of 5 YBC members, which stands for Young Bag Chasers.
The new name is You've Been Charged.
Tommy Frazier, aka Snipe, is another man you can hear YBC Dul persistently mocking in his songs.
I was snipe, smoking snipe, dog rolling buddy out the safe. Smoking little snake, he got me higher than a motherfucking kite.
All of these murders and disrespectful lyrics made the city hate YBC, and soon, all of the enemies they made would click up to form a supergroup called CCK. CCK consists of campers, O to the 4, clappers from 56th Street, and clappers with a K from 7th Street. But it wasn't just them. 39th Street clicked up with 44th Street because of the murders of Sid and Kanye Pittman, and because of the murder of Bud, they also had enemies on 59th Street, resulting in YBC being literally surrounded by ops all over the city. So far in the story, YBC was claiming responsibility for 8 murders in 2021 alone. And it doesn't take a genius to imagine what happened to the Young Bag Chasers between 2021 and now. J100, the founder of YBC, was shot and killed. Reek 1200 was arrested for 2 homicides, facing 35 years to life. F5 is serving a 12-year prison sentence. Curry is serving multiple life sentences. Da Fetty, YBC Dul's cousin, was shot and killed. 1K, Baby Wick, and Reek 1200 are all in jail on conspiracy to murder charges. Mir Pablo got locked up less than a week ago for homicide. Yak Yola is on Philly's most wanted fugitive list. Money-making T.O. was murdered. Baby Ka was shot and killed. Kier was gunned down. Peso is incarcerated. FS DeBender is on house arrest. And one of the last remaining survivors of this war is none other than YBC Dul. In this episode, we visit 42nd, 43rd, and 39th Street, which is the epicenter of the Young Bag Chasers territory, as well as visit the hood of P&B Rock, whose neighborhood clique is now tied in with YBC. So come with me as we visit Philly's most hated rapper and experience firsthand life as Mr. Disrespectful. All right, to my left right now is the one and only YBC Dul.